So yeah, 2 UFC fights, 2 first-round submissions. Is this, the perfect start for you pretty much to your career here?
I mean, yeah, this is about as good as it can get. I'm 2-0. I'm just looking to get out there, build up my highlight reel, get some fans, and move on to the next.
Yeah, I mean, and early on, it seems like he may have tagged you a little bit with some punches on the feet. Like, did any of that hurt you, or were you kind of was that the strategy to allow him to maybe be aggressive a little bit, and if it ended up on the ground, that's where you felt you could shine?
Oh, I definitely wasn't hurt at all. Ryan's a tough opponent. He always comes to fight, and he came out and decided to bum rush me, try to put me on my heels a little bit. I think he landed maybe one punch, just kind of coming in, catching me off guard, and he wanted the fight on the ground apparently. He clinched me up. I just stayed relaxed. I kind of honestly let him do what he was going to do, get his little jitters out. I don't like to kind of fight fire with fire. I like to let my opponents make mistakes for me, and then once I saw him make a mistake I capitalized on, I took it.
Yeah, I mean, and you see armbars, kind of the rate goes down less and less just as fighters in this day and age are becoming more privy to being on top and being caught in that move. What did you see there that allowed you to get that submission?
Well, I mean, as you saw, I'm well versed on the ground. I have like the 4th anaconda in the UFC, and this is, like you said, arm bars are going out of style a little bit, but if you really practice jiu-jitsu, not just straight jiu-jitsu, which you have to in a gi, as I always do under my Professor Daniel Wanderlei, you have to grapple and keep in mind that someone's punching at you. And I'm very used to doing that. I always keep in the back of my head that I'm in the position where I could get hit. I had control one of his wrists. That's one of the things you always want to do, control the head, control the wrist when you're on the bottom. He happened to leave his wrist on my chest with me controlling it. When he hit the wrong angle, I saw my opening, I threw my legs up, I straightened his arm out and got the tap.
Yeah, and I mean, do you feel like, as you say, you see a lot of rear naked chokes, arm triangles, stuff like that. Do you feel like you can be a guy that brings, a little bit of style back to the submission game in the UFC?
I mean, I'm just taking what they give me. Everyone kind of sees the guillotines and the rear nakeds coming. I even had his neck for a little bit. I didn't really go for it because, everyone's aware of it, and those sometimes can put you in a bad spot if you don't finish it right away. So, he obviously wasn't expecting that kind of ground game out of me. And, like I said, anytime my opponent makes a mistake, I like to let them make mistakes, and then I capitalize on it. And I knew he was one of those guys that would push forward and leave me an opening sooner or later.
Yeah, and I know when Brian Stan asked you what you'd like to do next, you kind of took the courteous route and said, I'm still early in my UFC career, but you have a lot of fights under your belt. You've been doing this for a while, a lot of wins. So do you feel like you're ready for those top 15, top 20 guys, considering the experience you have in the sport already?
I mean, of course I feel like I'm ready. I feel like I can beat anybody in the world. Sure. But I also believe in paying your dues and proving your worth. And, I'll be coming up on my 3rd fight here. I'll probably get another opponent similar to my stature again, which I think is, fair to everybody. And then after that, depending on who they want me to fight, we'll talk about that and the contract. And I just want to, be in the UFC as long as I can. I don't want to rush anything. It did take me a long time to get here. It took me, almost 30-plus fights to get into the UFC. I'm in no rush to get to the top 10 or the top 5 before I'm ready. And like I said, the more fights I have, the more exciting I can be, the more the fans get out of it. So
maybe not a name, but do you want a quick turnaround? I mean, that's a pretty fast win in there. It doesn't seem like you took any damage at all. Do you want to fight again pretty soon or take a little time off?
If I could fight again in May, that'd be awesome. Yeah, I'll be ready by May for sure.